Hi guys, and welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade, and what I did in my kitchen this day. Now this tea that we had, this is fully loaded chicken and potatoes. Guys, honestly, this is going to be a keeper in our house. So these potatoes are out of the garden. First crop. Round of applause for yourself, Hayley. Well, I don't know why I'm rounding of applause in myself, but it's Steve. Steve would put them in. I never believed it when they said the stuff that you plant out in your own garden tastes so much different. And it does. So I'm dicing these up. All done. Just checking. And I'm going to put some chorizo in. This is optional, but I think it does add a lot of flavour. I'm only putting a bit of it in, so about 100 grams probably. I'm just taking the casing off. I suppose if you don't have access to chorizo like this, or you don't like it, kielbasa, or over here, that Matteson smoked sausage would work well. Maybe half of one of those. But we really do enjoy chorizo. It adds a lot of flavour. You can see I've got some, that's a whole onion at the side, and about 100 grams of mushrooms. So I'm using thighs. You can use breast, but I think breast would dry out. So I've got 5 thighs, skinned and boned. Yes, I am putting them raw next to the chorizo because they're all going in the oven anyway. So it really doesn't matter. It's not like it's not like I'm not going to be cooking the chorizo. So I've just chopped them up into small dice. Look, they're not very big, and that's been done on purpose. Right, I did cook, and again, cross-contamination, but I'm cooking this straight away, so it doesn't really matter before anyone says anything. So this was a 300 gram pack of smoked bacon. I didn't use all of it, I only used half. I cooked it all, but only used half. And you really do need some bacon. Carrots out the garden, look at them, look. These are chantenays. These are not carrots that have not grown, before someone says it out. They are meant to be small chantenay carrots. Because I know if I didn't say that, someone would be like, you pulled them out too soon. They're meant to be the small chantenay carrots. So yeah, you really, you do need that bacon. You'll see in a bit why. You don't have to add any carrots to it. If you do add anything other than chantenays, I mean, I even cut these in half, just so the cooking time sort of leveled out, sort of thing. Make sure you cut them to the same size as your potatoes. So these are just going to get trimmed down. They're going to get washed. As you can see, they're getting trimmed down. Just taking that stringy root off and the excess top. And then they're going to get scrubbed. So all I'm doing, now that this is cooled down, is chopping up the bacon into little pieces. And that bunch of spring onions you can see, you want to do the same thing to the green part of the spring onion. So just chop it up, keep hold of the bunch as it is, and just chop it up halfway down the spring onion. I'm pointing at the monitor and you can't see me. So it's just in little bits. So this is smoked paprika. And you want a tablespoon. No, you don't. You want half a tablespoon, sorry. A teaspoon of garlic. Half a teaspoon of salt. And a teaspoon of black pepper. Give them all a good mix. Now I've started off with this pan, but I do change it because this pan is not big enough. Because you've got to remember, yes, you're going to fit that bloody fly that you've just seen on your screen. I was chasing that, all, well, as much as I can chase, all day. Drove me nuts. Anyway, back to my pan. You can see it holds the potatoes, but as soon as I put them in there, and I was like, can't bother to change it at this moment. As soon as I put them in there, I knew when it comes to adding the rest of the ingredients, they're not going to fit, so I changed. So make sure you have a decent, it wants to be twice as big as you need for your potatoes, if that makes sense. So it wants to be twice this size. Because you need room to fit all your other ingredients in. Because everything goes into the oven on the same tray. So that mixture is for your potatoes. That smoked paprika you might think is too much. It's not, trust me. You could probably add some more. It's definitely not too much. And you all know I'm a spicy wuss, so yeah. So they'll go into the oven. They want to be fork tender, so you want to be able to see I swapped it. So all I did was cook these until they was half cooked. Just about get a fork through. And I swapped them over. What's good about these enamel pans was I put some hot water in that, and by the time I'd finished assembling the rest of this, it was so easy to clean. So there's my potatoes. They're not fully cooked. You are going to add in raw, either your smoked sausage if you use that, or your chorizo, or just your chicken if you just want to use chicken. All your carrots. I didn't use all the mushrooms. And give it a good toss together to make sure it's all well combined and well distributed. Swallow my tongue. This is the main recipe I wanted to bring you today. This really, really was good. So it's going to go back into the oven now because the meat and the veggies need to cook. So I'm bringing it out of the oven. The potatoes and chicken I've stirred once part way through and they're all cooked through. Here it is. Doesn't that look good? Oh. So before I add this cheese on, I'm going to give it one last toss together. This is why I cut them chicken pieces so small. So they're bite size, but they're quick to cook. I would say it's about two handfuls of cheese. What's that? Maybe a cup and a half. You really want to cover this with cheese. This is why it's loaded chicken and potato. Give it a good covering in cheese. And then you're going to crumble that smoked bacon on top of the cheese. That's the bacon we cooked earlier. So you're not waiting for this bacon to cook, you're literally just melting the cheese. And then some green onion. And the rest I'll put on as it comes out of the oven. Back into the oven, literally for about 10 minutes. When I put this in, I turned it up to gas 6. 10 minutes, pulled it out, and it was done. Sprinkled it again with the rest of the green onions. And voila. It is lovely. Steve really, really enjoyed it. The chicken was fully cooked because it was only in small pieces. And it was really nice. The carrots were cooked through. You can taste the bacon and the spring onions. We're sort of going in reverse because that was what we had for tea that night. But the kids... Caitlin gets a hot dinner every day at school, more or less. And Amy had taken pasta for dinner in a pack-up. And they both wanted still tuna pasta for tea. I mean, you know my girls with their tuna pasta, they're very basic. It is literally tuna, mayo, pasta, parsley, salt and pepper. They don't have anything else in it. Caitlin would probably eat some red pepper and maybe some like grated not garlic, carrot or something, but no chance with Amy. So I figure if I make it like this, whoever wants to add something to it when it's in their bowls can do so. And they prefer it cold or room temperature to warm. So I just made this while I was in the kitchen already. This was obviously after I prepped everything for the meal you've just seen. I don't know why he's gone in reverse, but there you go. Bit of salt and pepper. Wrap that up, and then kids' tea, easily sorted. That's all they wanted, was that. Well, that's not all they wanted. I'm not doing a recipe for this because it's just common sense. You see me put it in. I did use a full 500 gram bag of this pasta. This pasta is brilliant because the tuna gets in every single little last bit of it. So Amy's favourite pudding was next. She's been asking for this for ages. I don't make her it as often as I used to do because she's just a little dustbin. So I've already done the dough. I didn't show you it because I already have a full video on it. So I'm just going to show you the dough's already done. This is a cinnamon and raisin dough. And I'm just going to get it so it doesn't stick to my worktop. One of Amy's favourite things to eat, although she's not allowed it as often as she used to have it, is cinnamon rolls. Oh, talk about obsessed. This child loves her cinnamon rolls. She really loves the... Oh dear, a leaf off me carrots from earlier that somehow got there. Yeah, I don't know how she got this obsession with cinnamon rolls because I don't know. It's not like she's a massive cinnamon fan or anything, but there you go. Absolutely loves it. So I just thought I'd show you it from the point of how I roll them out, sort of thing. And I mean, this dough is really a no-fail dough. It really is. See how soft it is. Just persist in stretching it out. It does want to come back on itself, as most doughs do. It's got good elasticity in it. So with the butter that you brush all over this, instead of adding the cinnamon to the sugar, I've added the cinnamon to the butter and just spread it around that way. It's not the usual way I do it, it's just the way I decided to do it this day. So there it is, cinnamon and butter mix. And I think it worked out a little bit better, to be honest. It soaked into the bread better. So I'm just going to put this all over it. And then I'm going to put on just a thin sprinkling of light brown sugar. You can use dark brown, I have. And when it comes to rolling it up, you want to go the long lengthways. You want to roll that part. And when I roll it, I tried to pull it a little bit, to stretch it a bit before I tuck it in. because you really want to make sure that you've got them distinctive rolls inside of your cinnamon bun. So just spread some brown sugar over. I put the link to the video that I've already done for the dough. I use a bread machine and I let it prove in a bread machine because it's easier for me. If you haven't got a bread machine, don't worry about it. You can do it in a stand mixer and let that do the kneading. And let it proof in a warm area. Steve uses a stand mixer for his doughs. But me, no, I prefer to use the bread machine. He keeps saying to me, why don't you get rid of your bread machine? I'm like, nah, get rid of you. I'm not getting rid of my bread machine. It does everything. Although I never ever cook in my bread machine, ever. Oddly, I find it leaves a heavy loaf. You can see I'm just pulling it towards me and then rolling it, but I only do that halfway through. So yeah, I'm just stretching it out so it's level with the rest of the dough, and now I'm just rolling. I couldn't find my metal one that I usually use, but I do have a plastic one of these. So just cut your rolls, and you can see there is distinctive layers in that. That is why I said about pulling your dough and making sure you got them distinctive layers. And don't take your time cutting it either, go straight through so you don't flatten it too much. I got 9 out of this. You didn't have to do them the size I did them, you could probably get more. Place them on your tray. I wasn't quite sure how close to place them, but make sure you got a tray because you're going to need to cover these with a dry tea towel and leave them for about half an hour in a warm area. So my oven, as soon as I did this, I put it on to preheat. So I just placed these on top of the oven with the tea towel on for half an hour. Then I baked them on gas 4 for 30 minutes. And there they are. Just put some icing on. I mean, the kids would be happy if I just whitewash these in icing, but there's no need. They're sweet enough. And the icing is pure sugar anyway. The last thing I need is I'm having pure sugar, well, too much of it, before bed. My kids don't need a reason to play up. And I'm just making sure each one has got some of it on. Do you like my bowls? I got them in the Asda George section on offer. It was a 4-pack for £4. Not bad, eh? I needed some cereal bowls because I don't know what my kids have done to them, but they've either ate them or broke them. So yeah, there's the cinnamon rolls, as easy as that. Amy's favourite. Or it's right up there as one of her favourites. So I really hope you do try that chicken and potato, loaded chicken and potatoes tray bake. It is absolutely gorgeous. Nice and fluffy cinnamon rolls. You can see the specks of cinnamon throughout. And that was the kids before they nabbed the plates and legged it. Caitlin was like, that one's got a bit extra from the other one. I want that one. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Chat to me down in the comments section. I will put the recipe underneath for the tray bake and link the cinnamon rolls. So yeah. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you on Monday, guys. Bye.